And welcome to Nancy's Neighborhood, folks. And it's great to be with you today. If I look like I've been laughing, I have been. I have two characters on with me right now who have been sharing some stories of things that, opportunities for me to participate in that I'm really not interested in participating in. And I don't think they're going to share those on the air, but I have Chip Bryant and Sheriff Eric Watson from the Bradley County Sheriff's Department. And I called over and asked them if they'd come on because they've got something really awesome going on right now that I don't know that anybody else has ever done. I mean, that's, maybe not. I don't know. But SOS camps?
Yes, that stands for Sheriff's Office Summer Camp.
I think that's wonderful. So you take it, Chip, and tell them about SOS.
Well, the sheriff and I talking one day about what we could do in the community that would help our children, and we came up with this ideal together to start a children's summer camp. A day camp for children.
Okay.
So we just stood together right quick and got some guys in the office to help us, some of our ladies, and we were able to put together this real awesome program for children that runs 3 weeks in the summer. This is our first summer. As a matter of fact, this is our third day. So
yeah, it's going on right now.
Yeah, we're learning as we go. Every afternoon we critique and say, "Oh my goodness, we should do this or that." And we've had a good time though for 2.5 days, 3 days. We start our fourth day tomorrow. The camp will run for this week is one camp, and then we start another camp, and then another camp, and we graduate each camp each Friday. So this Friday we'll get the sheriff down. We'll give these children a certificate of completion for their activities that week, and it's really a wonderful thing because a lot of children don't get an opportunity to come over to the jail.
On a good day.
On a good day, that's
right.
True. That is so true. And we have some of our deputies' children, but we also have some children that we've never met before, some family names that we've never had contact with. We're bringing their children over. We start at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then we go till noon. And we're feeding the kids, and they really like that.
I bet they do.
Yeah. And we're getting some hungry children. So that's interesting, isn't it?
That is. But it's not surprising. That's the sad thing about it. It's not surprising that they're hungry, but it's a good thing that you all are feeding them. Who came up with this idea?
Well, we're going to point at each other probably. We're going to point at each other probably. Neither of us takes credit. We just
or blame.
Or blame. That's, yeah.
Exactly.
We're just trying to be involved in our community because our community is so good to us.
That is true. This is one of the most marvelous communities anybody can want to live in.
That's exactly.
Absolutely.
I was just saying to the gentleman that if people complain there's nothing to do in Cleveland, well, there is. If you get involved and start looking, you'll find plenty to do in Cleveland.
There is plenty to do.
There sure is.
And you can stay out of trouble with most of them.
We hope that you will, please.
That's
Our
exactly
jail's
right.
full. Please
That's
stay out of
exactly
trouble.
Right. Well, Eric, this is wonderful for you as the sheriff to open up and say, bring the kids in, let me meet them, and because you're kind of an ominous character in their life. I mean, this is the sheriff.
Yes.
So how much contact are you having with these children during the camp?
Just about every day. Was up there Monday, of course, yesterday. Of course, this is a opportunity for the kids to tour the whole facility of the sheriff's office, get to meet our K-9s and interact with them. We're recreating crime scenes, and they're getting to work crime scenes and find tips and stuff. They're getting to explore how to do first aid on people.
Wow.
And everything and just about anything they're getting to do, just like a real officer would on a kid level where they would understand it. And just like yesterday, I was at a convenience store, and a mother that Chip knows really well said, "Hey, my daughter loves this so much, she wants to come back next week."
Well, I didn't know that.
And I'm thinking, she must really like that, or must be bored one.
Yeah, we need somewhere to go. But I'd say now that you're talking about solving crimes and on their level, I think that would just be awesome.
And two, so we give an overview of the fire trucks and ambulances that we invite them to come down there, and we interact with different agencies, part of this school, and we don't stop there. We also have an Explorer program for teenagers to join at the age of 16 to 21. As a matter of fact, our first Explorer program that we started back in 2014, the young lady became a graduate of the Explorer program at 21, went to the reserves, and now she's working full-time as a deputy sheriff.
I didn't know
How
that.
neat.
Yes,
That's
and that's the testimony that speaks for itself.
Absolutely it does.
And,
Absolutely.
Anything we can do for those kids to keep them out of a little mischief, a little trouble, and
You think that happens, huh?
just do, because like Chip said, I seen firsthand Monday a little kid that had 4 pints, I guess, of milk.
That's right.
2 pieces of pizza, and he was just going to town on that pizza and eating. And I asked him, I said, how's that pizza? He said, good. I haven't had anything good to eat like this in a long time.
Oh, wow.
And
That makes you feel good. that
it
you can
does.
do something for that, yeah. So what age are these children that are coming? I say children, are they
Well,
children,
they're children,
teenagers? or-
yes. We're
okay.
asking for around 10 to 12 years of age.
Okay.
We've allowed a 9-year-old. We may allow a 13-year-old, especially if they have a sibling or a cousin
Mm-hmm.
or a neighbor friend they want to come together. So, but we're not really looking at older teenagers, but more younger children. So that's kind of our target age group. Yesterday we did a crime scene simulation, and we asked them to go out and search for evidence. And I had to spend a lot of time telling them this isn't like an Easter egg hunt,
Okay.
where you grab a piece of evidence, put it in your bag, and run off to find another one. But when you find it, you have to wait till we get there, and we taught them how to log the evidence. And we simulated photographing it and interpreting the evidence on how it might be been used in the crime. And they really enjoyed that, and they did an excellent job. And get this, we toured the facility in the back, Sheriff. You might not know that, but we took these children back into your jail. And the lieutenant said, Chip, we have a pod that's down, meaning a pod that we were doing repairs in, and the inmates had been moved to the other living unit or pod. And so they actually got to go into a living unit, which is rare. I don't know if a child is, I don't know if we've had a child back in a living unit ever since we opened the jail and had our original tours before we went live. And so these children got to go back into the very area, right into a cell where inmates sleep and stay.
That is so good because
Yeah.
it makes you automatically not want to be there.
And it's really not a scared straight program, because I'm not sure I like those
No,
kinds
no,
of
no.
programs. So we've not used any of those techniques. We've just showed them this is where you stay. And they saw the stainless steel toilet and sink combo. And one of the children asked, said, what do you do about using the bathroom? Well, you just use it right there. And they're like, well, what about everybody else? Well, you know, sometimes they put a blanket, you can put a blanket over yourself, but that's where you use the bathroom. They didn't like that.
No,
I mean, who would?
No,
Really,
no.
who would?
Absolutely.
And I don't know if the other classes will get to go in there or not, because we were doing repairs.
Yes.
Might not, but they can still walk down those long hallways. You know, we probably have the longest hallway in Cleveland. When you look at that facility, how long it is, there's a central hallway that runs the entire length of that large building.
and that is a big building.
It is a big building. It's only broken by what we call the horseshoe, which goes around an area where our control system is, where the cameras are, and we have some dorms there for trustees that stay in. But we can walk them down that hallway, and they can see some of the facility, but we don't know if they can see a lot of it.
Right,
That's rare that a living unit would be done for repairs.
right.
So,
And of course, you can't take them in where other people are
Right.
because there's a privacy thing that goes with that and everything.
Yes.
But still, I think it's awesome that you're actually having them out there at the headquarters so they can get a feel of everything that's going on. And now, you're going to take them from up to age 12 or 13, and
Yes.
then the explorers start at 16.
They do.
I think this is wonderful. Now, how do they get involved in coming to camp?
well, they can.
This one's going on right now,
Yes.
so don't do it this week, folks. But we want next
Right.
week or the next.
We did take a guy in yesterday. He wanted to come so bad, so he came in a day late. But he didn't get to meet the sheriff. The sheriff's on Monday morning to give them their badge.
Oh,
he came in
okay.
yesterday, but he'll be able to meet the sheriff Friday at graduation
Gotcha.
time, because we'll have a semi-formal type graduation.
Oh, okay.
To thank
Kind
them
of like
for-
a DARE graduation.
Very
okay,
similar.
Good.
Yes, very
Good.
similar. Today we took the children over into court. We asked Judge Randolph if we could bring in the children. He said if they behave, then that's another rare opportunity. Children don't get to go into court.
You hope.
They just, really, they can go to kiddie court, but they don't get to come to adult
Right.
court. And we just don't allow children in our court very often, in adult court. But we lined them up, and they behaved very well, and we got them a good seat. And it just so happened one of the inmates was just having a fit because she wanted out of jail. And so she started getting loud and begging the judge to let her get out of jail today, and which he didn't let her out, by the way. And the children were just like freaking out, like you could
Good
just see
show
them.
for them.
Oh no!
That's good. That's
And
a
of
good
course-
show for them.
Yes, and they talked about it the whole time.
That's good.
And she was probably a gang member because she had tattoos all over her neck and all up the side of her face, and they weren't used to seeing anything like that. Now, I'm
Right.
not being judgmental. That's
No,
just,
I
just the
understand.
truth.
That's
what,
right.
That's what we're facing. And she told the judge, she said, Judge, I've been in jail since 2013. And I got out, and they violated me on my probation and put me back in jail. You've got to let me out. And my child's going to have surgery Friday, she said. And, of course, the children were asking about that. So there's a really good learning experience.
Oh, I think that's awesome.
It was pretty awesome. It sure was. And I'm thankful that Judge Randolph let us come in there.
That's
Because
exactly right.
he runs a pretty tight ship.
Yes, he does.
You know.
Yes, he does. Sheridan's a great guy. Well, I know my son went to school at MTSU, and a lot of times on Saturday night, their favorite activity was to go to Nashville Night Court.
Oh, really? That is so, and just to observe?
Just to, he said you just would not believe what comes into Nashville Night Court. He said it's
yeah.
just, and I said, surely that's not what y'all do on Saturday night. And he assured me it was, but I'm quite sure there was more to it than just Saturday Night
maybe,
Court.
yeah.
But this is what I think is so awesome, the way you all get involved in the community. You're not just sitting yourself out there at the facility saying, we're here, look at me. But I know you've got the DARE programs going on in the county schools, and you've got the SROs, and now you've got the SOS camp.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
And the Explorers. I didn't know
Yes.
anything about the Explorers.
Yes, very good program. Also the Senior Visitation Program,
Yes.
Alzheimer's program.
Yes. Yes.
And you'd be surprised the folks, sons and daughters, or someone's moving out of town wants to place their mom and dad or grandma, grandpa on a list where our deputies checks on them weekly and goes to their home and spends time with them.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is
It is.
really awesome. And like I say, a lot of people don't know what all you all do.
They
They
don't.
think you're just out stopping traffic and arresting druggies. And
The
this and
average
that.
citizen thinks that law enforcement just enforces the law.
Right.
But there's a big component of community caretaking that people expect the police to do.
Right.
There's an expectation that the police officer will take care of this problem. A broke down car on the side of the road. Now, there's no law been broke. Why would the police officer stop and, that's not a crime in progress.
No.
But it's something that the people expect law enforcement to
They do.
So that's
They do.
a community caretaking component of law enforcement that has to exist because there's no one else to do those things.
You're exactly right, and I hadn't thought about that.
Who else is going to let children go into court? Or who else is going? We
I just
have
think
to do
this is
that.
wonderful.
We have to
I
step up.
really do.
Well, thank you.
And I was going to ask you about the Explorers because we just have a few minutes left in our conversation. But how do people sign up to be an Explorer?
They can just go online, bradleysheriff.com, and there's a link there that says Explorer Program. Click on that and fill out an application and mail it in or bring it by.
Good. Now, does that like go from? Can they join mid-year or
They can join
should-
anytime.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. 16 to 21.
Yes.
I think that is awesome. And now the camps. Tell me how we sign up to go to camp.
Well, you can go online at bradleysheriff.com and find an application there. You can come to the front office and ask for an application. We need an original signature from a responsible person.
Gotcha.
Because we do have children on site,
Right.
on our campus, and
Right.
we're concerned about them. We need to know about medical information. I've been carrying a little respirator for one of the children in my pocket in case he needs it, that sort of thing. So there's an application process, but everyone's accepted. No
Okay.
one, you know,
Okay. And there's no cost to this.
there's no cost.
Free to them.
I'm glad
That's
you brought that
wonderful.
up. We're not using any public funds for this activity. We have some sponsors, and please let me mention those.
Oh, please do.
Ernie Bowman, have some individuals. Ernie Bowman, Troy Weathers, Sheriff Watson has donated. Posey's Gun and Pawn, L&B Appliances. Did I say Ernie? I guess I did. So some individuals, and then the two businesses, Posey's and L&B Appliances.
Okay.
And they've donated sizable checks to this endeavor. Brooks Screen Print also gave us a big discount on T-shirts.
Oh, so we get a T-shirt. when we
Yes, they
come
get
to
a
camp.
free
Oh,
T-shirt.
Those are important.
And they wore those T-shirts in court today, so that was pretty neat.
Oh, yes.
And that way they're immediately recognized as a member of our camp, our children's camp, when they're on our property over there.
And I think that is just awesome. Is there a phone number to call if there's somebody that's like me that doesn't go online and do a lot of stuff?
Yes, 423-728-7300, 7300. That's our front office.
7300. And
Yes.
okay, and that will get them the information that they
Yes,
need.
ma'am. And we have 2 more camps to go.
Right.
They start each Monday for the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
And please come. They're welcome to be there with us.
And my question is, if they want to come next Monday, they need to call you by.
Well, but they need to get involved right now.
Okay.
They need to.
That's why I wanted you all on today.
The application process is 3 or 4 pages. And we
Okay.
need to kind of go over that with them.
Yeah.
And then we have one of our volunteers who will call the parent prior to Monday morning to ensure that they know exactly where to come and what's expected of the child. So,
It sounds awesome. I am so thrilled.
Well,
And I'm
thank
so
you,
thrilled
Nancy.
y'all had the article in the banner. And I'm honored that the Sheriff's Department has come in today to be on TV with me in Nancy's neighborhood. Any last minute thing y'all would like to say?
I want to thank Sheriff Watson.
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, a lot of sheriffs be like, I don't have time for that.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, he's right there with us and been checking on me every day and making sure that anything I need is there. I mean, he's just a great guy to hang out with.
So you be the counselor, the camp counselor.
I'm the camp counselor.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Guys, thank you all
Thank you,
so
Nancy.
much for being on with me today. I really do appreciate it.
Thank
And I
you.
hope all of y'all will take advantage
Yes.
of this. give me one more, ages
10 to 12.
10 to 12.
Yes.
Maybe a little variation.
A little
Okay.
variation, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
all right, very good. Thank you guys so much.
you.
Folks, don't go away. We're going to take a little commercial break. And like I always say, watch our commercials and support our sponsors because they pay our bills. And we'll be right back with another guest.